I'm Alex Beckstedt.
And I'm Jillian Eberline. Thank you for joining us on the first episode of the 10-Minute Tack-Up, brought to you by My New Horse, where we sit down for a quick, honest chat about all things horse ownership.
So first, since this is our very first episode, I'll just tell you a little bit about myself, my horse background. I've ridden and owned horses my whole life. I ride English, primarily the hunters and jumpers. Did a little bit of fox hunting. That was so fun, so scary. I did the math and I've owned 16 horses, I think, over the years. My most recent one was an off-track thoroughbred that I retrained after his racing career was over. What about you, Jillian?
I've been riding for about 15 years. I started in the hunter jumpers up in New York, and now I am doing the quarter horse circuit down here in Ocala, Florida. I recently just bought my first horse. He is a 4-year-old appendix. And yeah, we're going to do the over fences, driving, under saddle, and just kind of see what he wants to do.
That's so much fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's kind of odd to have my own, and like have to make those plans for him. I'm like, I don't know.
Well, you're going to be going through the new horse journey, and we're going to be all along for the ride.
Yeah, and using all the resources we have. I'm like, how do I do this? What do I need to do?
Well, today we decided that we were just going to share a few things that we wish we had known before buying our first horse. My insight might be just more things I wish I had known in general, but yeah, Jillian just getting her first horse, I'm super curious to hear what you think you wish you had known.
Yeah, so when I bought my horse, he was a 3-year-old, very green. So I really wish I knew what his workload was like and what his normal schedule was, because having him down here in Ocala at a boarding barn, we run things obviously a little differently with training rides, lessons, days off, etc. So I feel like when he got here, he was in for a little bit of a shell shock on the new routine. So like I said, it would have just been good to know what he's used to and in more detail what he's done. After we got him, we learned that he only really had 30 to 60 days on him. We thought he was a little bit more, well ready for an adult amateur like me. So just more so asking those questions. I think I saw him, loved his breeding, and I was just so excited that that was just something I didn't even think to ask. But definitely looking back, I'm like, I wish I knew that.
So did you like jump right in and start riding and training and then realize like, wait, this horse is way greener than I thought?
Yeah, we jumped right in and they're like, he doesn't really know how to go straight and he doesn't know how to move off your leg. And when you put your leg on, he gets a little offended. And I was like, oh, and they're like, oh, yeah, he was in a field for a while and we probably have only put 30 to 60 days on him. And then you bought him. I was like, oh, so he's not ready for what I'm asking him. Okay. So we just had to really change, I don't want to say his training schedule, but our timeline with him because we don't want to rush him, but really reevaluate what we thought was.
Well, that's so important. I mean, you can't just like go by the book all the time. You have to adjust things for the horse. So
yeah.
Well, good. That's very smart. I will say that what I wish I knew before buying a horse is the importance, if you can afford it, of equine insurance. Even if your horse qualifies, I know some older horses don't. But even just the most basic, like major mortality plan, is so worth it because even if you think nothing's going to happen, these horses will do everything in their capacity to get hurt. For instance, I did get a basically free horse 5 or 6 years ago that was needing to be rehomed. I paid hardly anything for him. And I thought, I don't need to insure him right away. I didn't really pay much. I don't have much invested in this horse. 3 months later, he ended up in the equine hospital with an infectious disease and a $5,000 vet bill. So lesson learned. I'm going to pass that lesson on to all of the other horse owners out there that don't have insurance. It's very, very well worth it.
He really just wanted you to add on to his original purchase price. So he said, I'll find a way.
He's like, I am very valuable. Trust me.
Yeah, you're going to see. Yeah, that is something I wasn't really used to. like horse insurance. Like I had a lease before my horse. I didn't have insurance on him, and
Right.
then once again he got into a huge thing. He got stuck in the gate outside in
Oh,
the field.
good.
So
It's a good place to get
had
stuck.
to do a bunch of stuff, and I was like, this would have been something that, would have been helpful. And he just proceeded to have incidences, and I was like, we are getting insurance stat. I was like, whoever can help me, I need it.
They will prove you right every time.
I'm like, no, he'll be fine. No, he wasn't fine. And he was a free lease. So I was like, oh, goodness gracious, more out of my pocket. Another thing I kind of wish I knew is how to read in between the lines of a sale ad or video. Once again, just going back to
Yeah.
my horse, like when they say green, okay, how green? When they say he's done X, Y, and Z, okay, how well or how many times? And just really, once again, getting that better understanding of what I bought and what to expect out of him. And obviously, things change as they grow and, different environments, but really just taking a deeper look instead of being like, yes, he's pretty. Now, everyone, I didn't just buy him because he's pretty. My trainers and I had a whole conversation about it. I didn't just do that, but just really taking a deeper look into it and not getting so excited. Like, he's working out phenomenally and it's all good, but that is definitely something I wish I had talked to my trainers about and kind of just did a little bit more investigating, I guess.
Yeah, like asking more questions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
I was like, how soon can you get here? Like, not the right question to ask.
Okay, one other thing that I wanted to say is that to know before you're buying your first horse, think about all the logistics and all the things that you're going to have to manage, especially if you're not in a full care boarding program. I have almost always had my horses in full care because I'm a working adult and need somebody to help me take care of them. But I had one a few years ago that I thought, you know what, I'm not competing right now. I'm just going to do self-care. It's right down the road. I can go feed him a couple times a day. But I didn't really consider all the things that go into caring for your horse yourself, which is scheduling your farrier appointment every 6 to 8 weeks, the vet calls, how and where am I going to get feed and hay and shavings, who's going to hold my horse for the farrier when he shows up at 1 p.m. on a Tuesday, because that's the only time the farrier can show up. So if you think you know everything that horse ownership is going to entail and all the things that you have to do to take care of that animal and how organized you need to be, you don't. That's my piece of advice. If you think you know everything, you don't.
Well, and the thing is too, like I have my horse in a full care, and just for me to learn, like, okay, like this is how they handle all this stuff. Like, even though I don't have to do it necessarily, I didn't think about all the logistics either, because I've always had my horse in a full care barn, like all my leases, etc. So that was definitely eye-opening for me. And I was like, I kind of wish I had that full picture of what the day-to-day of having him will look like, even if I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. The number of times that you have to go out and check on your horse and make sure that he's still alive, or at least I did, because I'd never had my horse on my own property before. So I was probably a little bit more paranoid than some more seasoned horse keepers. But, well, I think that might be all the time we have. Are we, are we tacked up yet, Jillian?
Yeah, we're tacked up and we're ready to ride.
Ready to ride?
It's cold down here. You might need a lunge.
All right. Well, let's go. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see everybody next time.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.